So version 1.5 special program just ended, and it's not going to be a huge update as 1.4. However, there's still plenty of content coming up on this new update. So I'm going to cover everything that they announced on the special program on this video, including all the events, quality of life improvements, the 2 new limited agents, and of course, a lot of other stuff they announced today. But before we begin, the redemption code for this version is astronomical, and I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can just click and redeem 300 polychromes and a lot of other materials for your account. And before talking about the 2 limited units, we're going to get reruns on this version. That's right, we're going to get Evelyn and Chingy as reruns for this version. It's not going to be G1, it's going to be Evelyn and Chingy, which hopefully means that we're going to get G1 on the 1.6. But anyway, let's focus on the 2 new units. So let's first talk about Astra, because she's going to be running on the first half of 1.5 alongside Evelyn. Astra is going to be the first limited support, which is something that we've been expecting for quite a while. Astra is truly unique. She's going to be an Ether unit from Stars of Lyra. When I say that she's going to be unique, it's because she's going to be kind of breaking some of gaming mechanics, but also she's going to be able to heal your team. Outside of Astra, the only other healing sources in the game are some really specific bang boosts that are only going to provide healing for you. Astra, just like all other defenders, for example, is not only going to be providing healing for your team, she's going to be providing a lot of buffs. And I talked about damage buffs and attack buffs. You just need to leave her singing in the background, and as long as she's singing over there, she's going to be offering some damage buffs for you, and also some attack buffs whenever you use a quick assist, a chain attack, or a perfect assist. And this attack buff not only goes for the unit entering the field, you're also going to get an attack buff for Astra as well. And this is really interesting because if you take a look on your screen, you're going to see that there's some ether stars falling down on enemies, and you guessed it right, Astra is also going to deal some damage on enemies. So really interesting, because Astra is not only going to provide a lot of utility and damage increase for your DPS unit, Astra is also going to deal some damage herself. And when I talked about game-breaking mechanics, I was talking about her ultimate. Her ultimate is going to heal your allies, but most importantly, the next 2 quick assists are going to be a chain attack. So instead of triggering a quick assist, you're going to be using a chain attack, and this is huge for a DPS. Because simply the damage difference between a chain attack and a quick assist is so huge that there's simply no comparison, you know? Not to mention all the good interactions. For example, Jane has a really good chain attack because you're going to be activating her passion state, you're going to be dealing a huge build up and a huge AoE. So Jane's chain attack, for example, is really, really good for you. But there's also some really interesting interactions that I'm looking forward to test. For example, the Starlight Engine. So Starlight Engine is one of the best weapons for free-to-play players because it's really strong. As long as you use a quick assist or a dodge counter, you're going to trigger the effect, which gives you a huge attack buff. But here's the keyword, quick assist. And depending on how Astra chain attack to quick assist is going to work, maybe you're not going to activate Starlight Engine effect, and this could hurt your DPS a little bit on some attacker units. So I'm really curious, and I'm really looking forward to get hands-on and test these kinds of interactions with Astra. Astra is probably going to be a must-pull for pretty much any account because damage and attack buffs are really universal and you can use it on any DPS style. You are a burst DPS unit, well, you're going to benefit from these stats. You are an anomaly unit, well, you're also going to benefit from these stats. You are a crit-based unit, well, you also benefit from attack and damage bonus. So Astra is a really solid unit, not to mention all the sustain she is going to offer by giving you a heal effect for all your squad. So really, really interesting. And next up, we're going to be talking about Evelyn, which is going to be running alongside Chingy on the second half of the 1.5. Chingy is a really solid unit, just like Astra, one of the best universal stunners in the game because of the huge damage multiplier, but we're not going to be talking too deep about Chingy. Let's talk about Evelyn because she's the new unit. So Evelyn is going to be a fire attacker, and honestly speaking, she's also quite interesting. Not because of a huge, unique mechanic like Astra, but because we're getting a really simple, easy-to-play attacker. When I first saw like this mechanic bar that you see on the top left of your screen, there's like an energy bar and another stacking thing, those arrows over there. I really thought that we were going to get something like Harumasa levels of complexity, but when I saw the gameplay itself running in the special program, man, it's just really easy for you to play, because all these mechanics are going to flow really easily on your basic attack combo, so there's nothing too hard for you to do. The energy bar is like a charged attack. When you get enough energy, you can hold down your basic attack, and they're going to consume some of this energy to use a special charged attack. And whenever you use this charged attack, you get 1 stack of these arrows, you see? So once you have 3 of these, next time you hold down your basic attack button, you're going to launch a chain attack. That's it, for free. You're going to consume the 3 stacks, and there you go, you're going to launch a chain attack with the same damage, same vulnerability effects, a lot of things really, really good. So everything just flows down naturally because you don't need to min-max a lot of your combo, your rotation just to get damage. But at the same time, there are some mechanics that players are probably going to explore in order to maximize the damage and make some nasty combos. So for example, there's this link thing where Evelyn can link herself to other enemies. As long as she's in this state, she's going to get crit rate. But also when she leaves the field, she's going to do a special attack before vanishing from the field, you know? So players who like playing around quick swap, things like this, well, they can benefit from this to get some extra damage while fielding another unit at the same time. So I really like this kind of character, you know? It's simple, but at the same time, there's some mechanics that the player can explore and try to find some really good combo and maximize their damage. You don't need there's not like a huge learning curve like Haramasa. I feel that overall for everyone to enjoy, characters like Evelyn is what they should aim for. And there's also another mechanic related to her ultimate, but once again, you don't need to change anything at all. You just need to use your ultimate whenever possible, and every time that you use your ultimate, you're going to get a buff for the rest of the combat. So basically speaking, that's Evelyn gameplay. You just field her as much as you can, you get a lot of decibels, and use your ultimate so you can get stronger for the rest of the fight. You can stack it up to 2 times, so after the second ultimate, you're going to get like the maximum potential of Evelyn. And that's it, really simple for you. Probably not going to be a must pull, especially for those, for example, that own Burnies or like playing Soldier 11. Astra, on the other hand, Qin, if you don't own her, these are going to be your top priority, especially for those free-to-play players. But I'm going to leave the talk about pull evaluation for another video that I'm going to be releasing later on. And let's talk about all the other things they announced on the special program. So another really cool addition that they are going to release on the 1.5 is the addition of outfits or skins, however you want it. We're going to get Astra, Ellen, and Nicole skins on the 1.5 version. Nicole is going to be free, it's a reward for event, but Astra and Ellen, well, you know the drill. If you like the character, if you own the character, then go ahead, buy if you like it. I really would love to get Ellen outfit, but I don't know if I'm going to pull for Ellen. Astra, on the other hand, I think that Astra looks beautiful already on her default outfit, so I don't know if I'm going to get Astra's outfit. Let me know in the comments down below if you plan to get any of these outfits. Besides Nicole, of course, because everyone's going to get this one, I think. They're not going to skip the event just to not get her skin, right? It's cute, come on. And now let's talk about all the events that we're going to get. It's a lot of events, actually, and I'm kind of surprised because this means a lot of pulls for us. So the first one they announced is one of those Bang Boos events with random gameplays. And I really like this one. For example, the tower defense was super fun. I'm a huge fan of tower defense games, and this one's also probably going to be really fun to play. This is the one that is going to be giving Nicole's outfit for free. And this also seemed to be a multiplayer mode, which kind of reminds me of Fall Guys. You can see on the bottom corner of your screen that there's like a 12 players icon. Next up, we have a dream come true at last. And this is also another one of these events with some different gameplay. But I also love the art style they decided to use for this. So I'm really looking forward for this one. I always love some mini-game, random gameplay that they add to the game. And speaking of random gameplay, next up we're going to have a fishing mini-game. Yeah, that's right, it's a fishing event where you get fishes and, well, you're going to get rewards for it. I really would love this to be a permanent addition to the game, but I don't think they're going to be adding this one as a permanent thing. It's just going to be an event and that's it. There's also some really time-limited reward here, but unlike the Bang Boo one where you get Nicole's outfit, this one's going to give you a Bang Boo wallpaper. So for those who don't want to use any specific agent wallpaper, well, they're giving this Bang Boo wallpaper for you to use. And honestly, it's really adorable. Look at this. And lastly, we also have some arcade events. Basically, you just need to play games, and based on your score, you're going to get points, and you can use these points to buy some rewards. They are also going to be adding a new game to the arcade, which kind of reminds me of Subway Surfers. You just have 5 different lanes, and you need to avoid obstacles and get power-ups, points, things like this. They are also updating Bizarre Brigade. Not only they are adding a multiplayer mode, they're also doing some balance changes and adding some new agents, yeah, that's right, agents, to the units you can pick. So for those who like the game, highly recommend you give it a shot, because the new balance change is going to reset the leaderboard. So go ahead and try to reach that top 1%, I guess. So for those who like combat-related events, well, we're going to get a new update to the tower. They are adding a new mode to the tower, and this one looks to be harder than the default one, because this one you need to climb 10 floors in order to get a checkpoint. So instead of a checkpoint every 5 floors, you're only going to get a checkpoint every 10 floors. But to balance this, they are also kind of adding some power-ups to these runs. You get some power-ups, which is going to increase the potential of some actions that you do, but you're also going to get lower potential on something else. So it's like a trade. You need to choose wisely and focus on something that you're going to benefit on the characters that you plan to use. And for those who really like challenge, they also added some kind of achievement for you if you manage to clear floors above the 50th floor without taking hits. That's right, it's without taking hits, it's not about taking damage. Next up, we have an event on Hollow Zero, where they're going to give you a set of units and Resonion, and you need to use this specific set in order to clear the trials they are going to give for you. And you're going to get some rewards, of course, such as polychromes, yada yada, the usual. And finally, we're getting an event where you basically need to take photos of your combat. And this one is something that I really would love to be added permanently to the game, because look how amazing it feels. You press the camera button, and look at this, it's going to simply freeze the time, and you can take a picture of the fight itself. So I really hope they can add this as a permanent function to the game, and I can't wait to see what people are going to screenshot on this one. And finally, we're getting some new round of updates on Deadly Assault and Shield Defense. For example, we're getting a new boss on Deadly Assault. They showcased a bit of the combat against Dead End Butcher, and as you can see, there's some new moves here. I really love when they add this kind of variations for bosses. So I'm really looking forward for the Deadly Assault update, because I'm having a lot of fun with Deadly Assault so far. Of course, outside of this, there's the usual random other small events, the one that I usually just talk. Of course, we're going to get the double drop events once again, both on disc farming and HIA material farming. But most importantly, we're getting more than double the amounts of pulls as a login bonus. Instead of the usual 10 pulls for bang bulls and 10 limited pulls, we're getting a total of 20 limited pulls, 10 bang bull pulls, and 480 polychromes just by logging into the game around 7 days. When it comes to quality of life, one of the huge changes they added in the 1.5 is about streamlining the boss fight, the weekly boss fight thing. Instead of fighting a trash mob wave before fighting the actual boss, all the boss fights are going to be just like Bringer 1, where you simply jump straight to the Bringer fight, So really cool that they decided to cut some time and makes things way faster for the players to farm these bosses. Another really cool feature is about the planner that they added in the 1.4, and now you can make custom plans. Let's say you're aiming for a Cretinous build, but stacking penetration on her. Then there you go, you can change all of these things because, well, you probably know what you're doing. But making this change is quite good for those who use this feature and don't want to be reminded that they are building something wrong despite building the things on the way that they want to do. They also made a small change on the battery pop-ups. So when you don't have enough energy and you press to use some of the reserve battery, it's going to default for the amount of battery you need in order to clear that specific content. They also made some changes on the UI, so things are way more faster when you're trying to farm discs, because it now showcases which disc is going to be dropping on every single of these fights. Another thing that they changed is about when selecting discs for your units. So now you're going to get to have independent filters for every single partition and every single agent. So now it's way easier for you to filter discs and get the disc that you're looking for, the units that you're building. I really would love for them to actually add a loadout feature. This is something that I've been asking since the previous version, but I don't think we're going to get this anytime soon, so well, it is what it is. Anyway, that should wrap up everything that we got on the version 1.5 special program. Really hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Let me know in the comments which feature you enjoy the most and which units you plan to pull between all the reruns and the limited banners. As usual, remember that you can join the Discord server where you can chat around with the community about the update, talk about theory craft, guides, get answers for your questions, and a lot of different things. Link is down in the description. Go ahead and join the Discord server. And as usual, thanks for watching, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next video.